रिकॉर्डिंग हैज स्टार्टेड। ओके, तो अभी क्या करेंगे? यूट्यूब वीडियो। क्या है इसका? मूर्ति 70 आवर्स। अच्छा, वर्क 13 आवर्स क्या बोल रहे हैं? CNBC TV 18 नारायण मूर्ति ऑन हिज 70 एडवाइस, यही लगाना है क्या?
सदगुरु का लगाओ, सदगुरु का।
ये लगाना है 3 days वर्क वीक, सदगुरु बोल रहे हैं। अच्छा ठीक है, इसको
हाँ।
सुनो।
3 days work week. Okay.
हाँ,
Narayan Murthy sir has said that young people should be ready to work for 70 hours a week and a 7-day work week. And Bill Gates says it should be 3 days, not 7 days. Where do you stand on this? Narayan Murthy sir has said that young people should be ready to work for 70 hours a week and a 7-day work week. And Bill Gates says it should be 3 days, not 7 days. Where do you stand on this?
See, how much work, too much work, there's no such thing. If you're doing something that you really love to do, if you're creating something that truly matters, if you realize that what you're doing is very significant, 70 hours is too little per week. Why should it be only 70? Why should you even define it like that? That is, if you are creating what really matters to you and to everybody around you, why should it be defined by hours? It should not be defined by hours. But if
Correct.
you're working only to earn a living, then of course you will always see how to reduce the hours. So probably Narayan Murthy said 70 hours because India is still a developing nation and we want to build this nation. There is a lot to be done. Still 400 to 500 million people are not getting their basics. If all of them have to get their basics in this lifetime, in our generation, then we need to do a lot of things. We can't be thinking about how to rest, we should be thinking about how to work and how much to do.
yes,
This is how all nations have been built. Today Dubai is comfortable, you're talking, but that generation built Dubai, you think they work only 6 hours a day and only 5 days in a week? No. Right now, United States is one of the richest nations on the planet. You just ask the previous generations how they work. They all work 12, 14 hours a day and they built a great nation. Now we are all talking about how to work less. Well, it is not about how much, how many hours you do. The question is, how do you address work? First of all, why are you doing something that you don't care about? If you're doing something that you care about, why should anybody define the number of hours?
perfect.
You will do the best that you can do. If everybody is doing the best they can do in their lives without dragging their feet on what they are doing, the dragging feet only happens because you think you're doing something for somebody. You're not doing something that's significant to you and to everything around you. So this is the whole problem. People are trying to make a living. Once you have come as a human being, survival is not the focus of your life. You should not be working for a living. You must make a life out of this. Whatever you do is your life. Where is work and life? That means 8-10 hours a day you don't live. Another 8 hours you sleep. When do you live? What is that? Work and life, what is that? If your work is not life, why are you doing it? I'm saying, once you're born here as a human being, you should do only life. And everything that you do should matter to life, this life and every other life. That is when nobody has to define your work hours. To the best of your ability you will do. Every human being should be working to their full potential, not counting how many hours should I work and not work.
Perfect. So this is a great starting or great epilogue of what work and life should be. If
Right.
work is your not life, then why you leave, right? So why to define hours? Mr. Narayan Murthy says 70 hours a day or week. So it should not be defined. A week has
If
24
you…
by 7, right?
if you… Yeah, see, if you take an example of any CEO or any founder of any organization, they work almost 15, 16 hours a day to build that particular entity, that particular organization. They put all their energy, all their effort to and they do multitasking. They don't do a specific job of accounting or HR or DevOps, whatever, finance. So they do everything to build that particular organization, and they put so much effort. So for them, working 70 hours or even more hours makes sense. And even for from the perspective of building the nation, it holds true that if we want to go ahead, or we want to compete with China, US, or any developed country, we should be working more than 70 hours, but that should
So
be
I think here,
productive. So first of
yeah,
all, first question comes the productivity. If you look at the productivity of China, US, or any other country, what is their productivity and what is our productivity? If you compare the charts, the productivity of India in compared to to Philippines, Thailand, and China is 1/5. So what I'm trying to say is, in let's say 8 hours, somebody is working in Thailand, and 8 hours somebody is working in India. The productivity is 1/5. So first of
hmm,
all, the efficiency of productivity has to increase. If you increase the long hours and don't increase the efficiency of productivity, of work productivity, how does it going to make sense? First of all, we have to focus on productivity and then on the long hours. This debate on long hours, as I said, for an founder, for a CEO, he has to work more than 70 hours to build the organization. Then the toss is on his
right.
health, his family. Okay.
So just
Other
to add
people
the
who are
point there,
working,
see, Sadhguru told about nation building, right? So, he gave one beautiful example that right now, US as a country, they probably work very less. But the previous generations of US, they might have actually worked, more hours, or China for the matter of fact. So they are still, they built a good nation, a good productivity, manufacturing firm, Japan, and all those, countries who still work, right, vehemently. So it is basically, need of that particular country. If India actually needs to be a developed country, we first need to get rid of the service mentality. What Narayan Murthy said,
right?
I think it is basically a service mentality, that you serve only for 70 hours. That is actually not valid from a country of a vigor of India, right? India is still developing, and there are a lot of work that needs to be done. 70 hours is still lesser. And again, 70 hours from a perspective of US or any other country, it is too more, right? So why don't you actually, from our country perspective, India, how much time we should actually devote for the work life and work balance and all those things? Does it actually a valid question?
See, you took an example of service industry. Now we have to look it from from the industry perspective. Okay, so if you look at hospitality industry, if you go to any hospital, the nurses working in India. I'm talking about India. Okay, right now from the hospital point of view, how many hours the doctors and nurses work? More than 14, 15 hours without taking a break. Even they continuously work for 15 days or 20 days, day and night. Not even they are not even getting sleep.
Yes, but again, the industry, the domain is different, right?
Yeah, so domain is
But
different. So if you are talking about service industry, in service industry you don't need more than 6 hours to work. For an individual who is doing accounting, who is doing some specific HR work or whatever. Why? Because now you have tools, right? You have generative AI available with you, which can reduce your work by 1/5. So work 9 hour of work can be reduced to 1 hour of work with the help of generative
yes.
AI. Then why you want to why you want the person to be seated on the desk for 15 hours and just waste his time? It
Okay,
isn't
so
it unproductive?
one thing I just wanted to, maybe question Narayan Murthy, that when he says that 70 hours a person has to work, is it like the Infosys tactics, get a punch in, stay there for 70 hours, and come out of that particular hour after, punch out. So this punch in, punch out time, right? So basically,
Hmm.
is it actually a productive one, Anshul, as you told, right? This is not productive at all. How to define productivity, right? 70 hours if somebody works. So how much productive hours a person actually works in IT industry or so? Because we all are, quite experienced into this industry. A person if goes to office for 8 hours, what is the productive hour actually? Maybe 3 or 4 hours.
See, if you specifically talk about IT industry, so we know what kind of work is going on in India from last 2 decades, right? It is more of a support work, right? So in support work, it's a random. Anytime a P1 ticket comes, P2 tickets come, P3 ticket comes, it may come in the midnight. It can come in the early morning. It can come at any time. Mostly it comes in the night time. Why? Because we are working for Western clients, and the some production is down, some server is down. It is mostly in the night. So in the day, you log in at 8 o'clock, and you log out at 8 p.m. And when you come home, the night 10 o'clock you get a P1 ticket. Then again you start working. So 12 hours you have already given in your office doing your regular maintenance work, and then again you will log in at 10 o'clock and then work whole night to resolve that particular ticket. So the 12 hours, out of the 12 hours, maybe you have worked for 1 or 2 hours productively, but the actual productivity came when the ticket came. So
Hmm.
it's an on demand requirement.
Correct. So can we, try to hear what exactly Narayan Murthy or Nirmal, you want to add any point? Go ahead.
See, I have a holistic view of this. See, Narayan Murthy is a big industrialist and all, and he share his own opinion, right? So either you take it or drop it. That's personal view, right? But if you see the supporting things, right? If I can see in this way, right? In supporting you, means he wanted to more focus on the productivity. Seems to be because he seems from his point of view that India lags in as if compared to other nations and all stuff lacking productivity, and he wants to increase that thing by choosing only 1 hour. No, I'm not sure why he hasn't choose the quality, right? So he compromises quality over hour, right? Second thing is that
Hmm.
he also mentioned from his word, that's what I'm saying with the sentence, that national responsibility or something like that, right? Which
Hmm.
encourages or which drive towards natural national development, and he sees longer hours should serve. So I don't know how, means if people can work 24 into 7, is that the way a nation can be developed? I don't think so, because not only working hours will going to work, but there needs 1,000 other parameters as well. Means how we going to define a farmers working hours, right? They're
Correct.
working maybe from morning 5 o'clock to evening 6 o'clock, unrest days, maybe one time food, or that is also not there for all the farmers. So is there not providing any kind of things or any kind of economic aspect and all those things for nation development? No, that's not the case, right? And another one, I think it's a personal choice, right? Whether you can use that 18 hours or something on your office work, or you can combine with your office work or personal development. So it's a people choice, right? So maybe
Hmm.
he is not very concise with his statement, but maybe you can think in that way. 18 hours, you mean to say, with your work, along with your personal development, along with your personal work, maybe in that way, right? So that is the way also you can think of it. But if you want to see in other way, right? So if he really mentioned for only for working for 18 hours, and also then how does that work life balance in the come in the picture, right? A person with the family members and all those things, that will also not going to
You know,
work out. So
again,
you have
I
to.
want to cite Sadhguru. Maybe he has a very valid point. If work is not your life, right, then then probably this work-life balance actually won't arise. So yeah, definitely there is a term called life. So which we definitely term is after work hours. Go for a pub. Do something. Go to the gym.
See, what
Do
about
some
the
talking.
Sadhguru mention and all those things? Definitely that does also make sense, but for a different segment of people. But if you
Hmm.
see the bigger picture, that's not the case because everybody wants to go for a work and hard earn money because at the end of the day, money does matter. Otherwise,
Yes.
you
So
cannot
there are,
sustain and all those things. And even any kind of thing you can think of, right? Even if you want to go for pub or anything for the leisure and all those things, that also need money. So it's
Hmm.
other
that
way
kind
of.
of work,
Correct.
that like what Sadhguru is saying, that is on a very high level, because
Spiritual.
if
It's a
you
kind of
come to
spiritual
the,
thing.
it's kind of spiritual thing. If you come to ground reality, there are certain fields, like if you are creating a music, if you are doing a painting, if you are doing some artistic work, then the time spent on the work, you will not measure. It will go, like it can take months, or it can take days to do a certain task in that particular artistic field. So maybe if you, what he's trying to say, if you apply the artistic instinct in your work,
Hmm.
then you will enjoy your work, and then this time thing will not matter to you. But if we come to the reality, these kind of jobs are specific, right? As I said, either if you are doing music, or if you are doing some painting work, or any other, like in creating animation or some kind of artwork. But if you are doing some kind of manufacturing work, okay, where there is a lot of noisy sound is there, lot of chemical smells are there, and all those things,
Hmm.
that will not fall under the artistic nature, and that will not define, you will not you would not like to give your 24 hours to that particular work, and your body will also, body and mind will be exhausted.
Yeah, I
Hmm.
absolutely agree. And moreover, as I mentioned, going forward means with the discussion and all those things, you will evolve that, that statement, his own opinion and statement, but the major thing is, missing is the lack of context. That's the main
Yeah.
thing, right? So is it a nation like, underdeveloped, where we are developing country like India, right? So that in his suggestions and all those things doesn't include the facts like the fair wages, right, the fair salaries and all those things, supporting work environment, right? So is that work environment is sufficient for to work for 18 hours and all those things, right? Even to some extent the leadership and all stuff, even the culture in also come in the picture, right? And even right now the AI, right, the automation, whatever you think of, right, so that environment also come in the discussion and all stuff. So again, right, it's just kind of statement and all stuff, and we can discuss length and breadth with this argument and all stuff. But yeah, it depends how we're going to take it up and how we're going to
So
move
so
forward.
so let us hear what exactly he says, right? We heard what Sadhguru said about it's kind of a reaction what he provided. So let's see like what exactly Narayan Murthy has to say about this, right?
Definitely.
Okay, I'm just sharing it. Just a minute. Right.
Are you surprised by the blowback that the 70-hour week comment of yours has got?
No, I rationalized it this way. If anybody that has performed much better than me in their own field, not necessarily in my field, I would respect, I would call them, and I would say, where do you think I was wrong in saying this? But I didn't find a lot of my Western friends, a lot of NRIs, a lot of good people in India called me, and without exception, they were all very happy. They all said, whether it's 70, 60, that's not the issue. The issue is that we have to work hard in this country because the poor farmer works very hard. The poor factory worker works very hard. So, therefore, those of us who received education at, at a huge discount,
Hold on. Here he tells, a poor farmer, a poor guy. So,
That's what I
you know,
mentioned also in that, that highlighted.
again
Yeah.
that segregation of things, right? So he's terming that a farmer is poor, of course, because of the living standards and all those things. But why he is poor, right? And why the IT employee who is actually needs to work for that particular thing, why he's not poor, right? The definition of poor is actually a relative term.
Mhm.
thanks to the subsidy from the government for all these educations too. In my case, I got scholarship right from my pre-university, national scholarship. So I said we owe it to the less fortunate citizens of India to work extremely hard. So therefore, whenever somebody who has performed better than me uh, comments on it, I would take it very seriously, but not otherwise. No.
I come from a doctor's family. My father used to work more than 70 hours a week. My sister is a doctor. She also works more than 70 hours. Murthy has worked 90 hours a week.
No, here I used to go 6.5 days. Even in electronics today, I used to work 6.5 days. And every day I would leave home at 6 a.m. in the morning. I would be in the office at 6:20, and I would leave by about 8:15, 8:30. Then only Mohan would leave, and then I would be home by about 9:15, 9:30. Children would be ready. We would take them to MacFast or one of those pizza joints or something. Those days there were no Pizza Hut, and we would have a wonderful time up to 11, 11:30. So
So see, so this is what he's talking about, right?
Mhm.
Again, he also probably we didn't hear him before Vimal and Anshul both spoke, right? A doctor works more, a guy in a manufacturing company, he also works more. So, now his statement was, he told that if a person in his domain works, better than him, he'll, agree to him. But tell me one thing: in IT industry, how much of productive work a employee is actually doing? If he's actually, he is talking about the IT sense, right? What
Before
is
that,
what
I
is
would like to, yeah, sorry to interrupt. Before that, I would like to, reiterate what he mentioned. So first thing he mentioned was about getting scholarships. So basically, I think he was talking about the IITians and, the AIMS hospitals, so wherein the people from the poor class, after studying hard, they get a scholarship, and then they, the lot of money is spent on them, and he's saying that those people should return back it to the society. They got it from the society, they should return it back to the society. And second thing, he told about his routine. Okay, what time he goes to the office, what time he comes, and then how he, takes his children to the pizza joint or whatever. Now coming to this point, I don't know whether his wife was also working, and or his mother was preparing food for the whole family, or what. What I'm trying to say was the support system, right? If you are working 14 hours, then if you have a maid in your house, or if your spouse or your parents or your support system in your house to take care of your house, then you can work 14 or 16 hours a day. You will come 8 o'clock in the 9 o'clock in the house, and a nice tea will be served to you, and you can enjoy your time with your children. They are ready. He's saying they are ready. By that time they are ready. Is it true for each and every family? And does each and every family have a support system? Do each and every family, their spouse are ready, and their children are ready for them when they are coming home?
Hmm. So yeah, pretty valid point. But here, whatever it is, so work life, this is a very fashion driven fashion industry driven actually terms which somehow we imbibed, right? Work, life, and all those things. So so what point you were trying to make is, if you have a support system you can work, right? But having said that, if you are actually doing a productive work, there won't be any bar to the time. If I remember, I was actually engaged into one of the project in my early days, where I wanted to actually, develop a piece of code which was not working. So I kept being in the office for a longer time. So I don't remember where actually I started the day, maybe 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock in the morning, but I ended up, I remember, I think I came home by 3:30. So by that particular time I was doing something which, probably I was hitting doing a lot of hit and trial and all those things. But that time I remember I had a particular thing to work on. But there were times where I didn't have any time, work, what exactly I was supposed to do in that time, right? So I cannot say that I will be only be in office for 13 hours or 14 hours just to have my 70 work week time, right? So here we are talking about a productive work. And again, it is a service oriented mindset, what we are still having.
Correct. That is
Nirmal,
one of the point. And moreover, if you only says, only working 18 hours or 19 hours or 20 hours a day, that means productive. I don't agree on that part, because I know a lot of people only work in a day for 4 or 5 hours. Those people are more productive than people working
yes,
for 15, 16 years hours in a day. So that's not the way of, just like, it's a qualitative and quantitative. How are we going to
hmm,
measure it, right? So you need the measurement and all those things. So that's not the way of doing it. But having said that, if we see, means as you have seen, right, Mr. N.R.N. Murthy's comment on all those things, it's just a personal view, and he also added some of the other segment of the people with his statement and all stuff, which is, I think, fair enough. But again, this kind of argument and all those things, it will likely to continue, right? And there is no easy answer for this, this kind of statements and all those things, whether Indians, for say, whether they want to work hard or not, right? This is a very complex kind of statement, and it needs a lot of consideration and all stuff. But again, it's up to the each and every individual, right, to whether
hmm,
they will going to agree or disagree on all stuff. But nevertheless, definitely work hard doesn't mean, I what I see doesn't mean only in an organization or office or something like that. It will be holistic, right, in your personal development, in your personal work, along with the office and other work and all those things. So if you can collaborate, but each and everything has to be productive in a way. You should know why you are doing it and what you
right.
want to achieve in that time, right? It's not like that, I'm working in 20 hours in a day, but I don't know means what I want to achieve after 6 months or 1 year. That's not the way of doing it. Everything has
There has to
their
be a
own
point.
goal.
There has to be a point for working.
Correct.
If
So there has
exactly
to be
we
a
want
goal,
to
and
work
you can
hard,
proceed from it.
yeah. So yeah, pretty
So
much
that,
valid.
that so it boils down to the work culture then, right? Means if you don't know what is the goal or what you are trying to
Mission
achieve,
or vision. Let's say we keep
mission
talking
and
about
vision
that,
is not
mission and
there.
vision. Everybody should have a mission and vision, right?
Yeah.
It is not only a company should only have a mission or vision, right? Let's say Anshul or Nirmal or Lalat, right? We all three have a mission or vision. At some point
Obviously.
of time, we will be actually achieving somewhere, be it IT or be it management or wherever it is, right?
Right.
Everybody's mission and vision goal are different, but when you work with an organization, you work for an organization's goals and mission and vision. It's a common goal, but again there is an individual perspective as well.
So that mission and vision your individual should also have, and then the team will have a mission, the
Yes,
team which you are working for, right? The leader,
yes,
what mission and vision he has put on, then
yeah,
so look at the industry right now, right? The this, as I told, this is a support industry. We are doing the support work. We are not doing, although there are,
no,
majority of the work is support work. I'm not
completely.
saying that
So
only.
if you see the statistics, Anshul, I just wanted to back you up here. So in a IT project company or IT company, 70% work is maintenance and support. maybe 30, 10% is development, maybe 10% would be research and development. That's all. So that is how the industry is fared off, and that is where our service mentality is again coming to foray, right?
Yeah.
So
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 what I
so
can see is it is more of a from support point of view, and maybe the country wants to go into the manufacturing side more now, as this is industry 4.0. So industry 4.0 and the manufacturing and other sector has to evolve. Um, so what I, if you ask me personally, what should happen? So as per the government guidelines, 45 hours of per week is the working requirement, right? So what I would suggest is that there should be a shift of 8 hours, shift of 8 hours, and the multiple shift. So the industry is running, and each and every people is getting work, because there are so many people who need work, right, who need to feed their family, right, they need work also. If already there is so much unemployment is there, so it should be distributed also. The work should be distributed also. Only if one person can do work of 10 people with the help of AI and robotics, then why where the other people will go? So I think the production in
Well,
the
that is
industry should
another
be.
topic I think we need to work or maybe
Yeah.
talk. Is AI, bliss or basically a blessing, right? So we need to also discuss about that maybe some other time. But about working for 70 hours, right? Or maybe let's say work extensively, in IT or a particular domain. Let's talk about IT for a precisely, because we all belong to the IT segment. Is it a fair thing, just to conclude?
Uh, no, no from a single word answer, but yes in a long sense. How it is possible is, see, it is on demand, right? Certain times demand you to work more, right? Those times when it demands, you have to put your you have to do your job at that moment of time. But when it doesn't demand, then you can take care of your health and your family. So it should be flexible. It should be
Hmm.
about both things comes up, like the productivity increases if you work from office, but at the same time you have traffic issues and other issues as well, right? So flexibility has to be there, coordination has to be there, and on demand it should be addressed.
Okay, Nirmal,
Yeah, I agree. Right. So,
any point you want to add for concluding this discussion?
see, that's what means. The thing is that it's very important, right? That there is no consensus, right? On the whether you will go ahead and take it, Narayan Murthy's, comment, to be accurate or in the air or something like that. But there are some arguments you can make up, right? It's both on personal choices and all those things, whether you're going to take it up or not, or how you're going to take it up, right? But at the end of the day, because that's he is an entrepreneur, and no matter what, right, he you know give this country a lot more than what common people these or that does, that go beyond 30-35 years back, right? The vision and mission he has with his entrepreneurship with the Infosys and all stuff. But having said that, yes, so everybody can set their as we discussed, right, their vision and mission, and they can move forward with that thing. No matter whether you work for 18 hours on, once you have to have the goal and direction and all those things, whether you work for 5 hours or 15 hours, right? So it's all your own take, but yeah, definitely you put effort so that you will also go ahead, move forward, and your nation should also move forward. It's just a win-win situation for me, right?
Just wanted to add to both of your comments. Working hard or working being a most productive.
Hmm.
So we need to evolve from those particular thought process to working more productively. You know, uh, again, this IT industry in India is probably 30, 35 years or 40 years old right now. So what we are quite mature, right? From a term of working harder or working being more productive. So here is the sense, right? So we need to find a particular work or particular way how we can produce or being more productive in this particular organization or industry, so that your work time will not be only bound to 70 hours or 20 hours or 40 hours, right? You have to be more productive. And again, we have to get rid of this service mentality. If we
Right.
wanted to be a you know a developed country, India will never be a developed country if we keep on serving, only serving. We need to
Right.
come up with a things like we spend more hours for research and development. When it is research and development, there is you probably would be so engrossed into those research and development activities, right, that you won't find a upkeeping of time, that you won't be actually looking at your watch, that okay, I worked 5 hours, but it will not happen. I am sure, I'm pretty much sure, if you are actually working on an idea that I wanted to actually evolve that particular idea, develop that particular idea, implement that idea, time is not a bar, right? You won't actually look at your watch, okay, 12 बज गया, अभी मेरे को घर जाना है, नहीं. You'll have to work. You will be engrossed into that. So it's being finding your own passion, creating that particular work environment. And Shul said that creating those particular forays where people will be more productive, those particular things should be our limelight or highlight of discussion. Not like, you know for a donkey work I have to work, I have to punch in and punch out for 70 hours. I'm not a fan of that for a most part of my career. I am
Correct. So
productive,
another thing
I work.
also, you can think of, the work-life balance. Means whatever you're saying, it's come to the work-life balance. So people has to also know the art of, work-life balance. As you mentioned, it's like a donkey. If you keep on working on punch in, punch out, 18 hours, 20 hours, that will not make your work-life balance. So people has to be aware. They needs to go, as you mentioned and Anshul mentioned, right? Their mission and vision going forward, what they want to achieve, what is the goal for next 1 year or 6 months, and all those things, and move towards the goal and try to achieve it. Whether it can be 18 hours in office, it can be 18 hours in your office and personal life, personal development, and social work, or social entertainment, whatever you think of, right? So it's all up to
Yes.
you. But the idea is that do some productive things so that it can be a part of your development goal, career goal, and as well as nation development. It's a win-win
Hmm.
situation. So everybody should be collaborative and go ahead and deliver according to their own needs and own choice.
हाँ, मेरा
Smart,
एक पॉइंट है,
productive.
काम है तो काम करो, काम है तो काम करो. If work is there, work.
Yeah,
If
that is
it
what.
is not there, then yeah.
Correct.
Be
Yeah,
flexible. And the
yeah,
company
it
should
actually
provide
brings to a
flexibility.
very interesting topic for our next discussion, that freelancing. What are the future of freelancing for Indian economy? Right? We can discuss, right? Two things what we evolved. The freelancing economy, how being, how we can actually get rid of the service mentality and come to actually do what exactly IT can
Correct.
be a boon, right? Boon for Indian market. How much IT is actually contributing to Indian GDP? Maybe 2%, 3%. Has it actually reached 10% yet? I don't think so, right?
That we have to see. I don't think it's reached till now to figure.
Right. Double digit has it reached? We'll have to see and come up with that. Okay, so this is very interesting. Anshul, you wanted to say something? I just overlapped.
No, the same point. Like as you both said, so we have to be more smart, productive, and
Yeah.
contributed to the overall
Correct.
deliverables.
Yeah. So yeah, anonymously, we can say that India has to evolve. India has to work. India has to be more productive. India has to be more smarter and more productive. That should be the underlying thought process. And everybody should have a mission or vision statement, whoever it is, a 1 year experience fresher, going to college guy, mission and vision, what exactly he want to achieve. Otherwise, the learnings or the work goes unproductive at all. He will not value for that particular thing what he has achieved, only to shift from one job to the other job. If it is only the work experience, then it is not helping the nation building, what Narayan Murthy highlights, right?
Correct.
Again, right? So
Okay.
good, thank you.
Good talk.
Thank you.
Good talk. Yeah.
Yeah,
Thanks.
Thank you,
Thanks.
guys.
Bye for now.
yeah, we'll meet. Bye.